Alright, exercise number 1 is the introduction to number 2. So basically, you have that as the whole pattern for the most part, or at least the introduction to the pattern. So you have an eighth note, and then basically a quarter note, because the 2 eighth notes equal a quarter note. And then it repeats. So you have the eighth note, quarter note length, eighth note, quarter note length, eighth note, quarter note length, eighth note, quarter note length. And then just to make this easier to play and easier to get the idea, just hold out that last chord for 2 beats. And you got this one pretty quick today, so let's just jump into demonstrating it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3, 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3, 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3, 1 3, 4 and 2, 3. On to the not as easy one. You got this one pretty quick too. But just a reminder. So this is taking the pattern of eighth note and quarter note length and repeating it over and over and over again until you get to the last one here. And if you were to repeat the whole thing again, it would happen every 3 bars. And then this is just to fill in the usual play 4 bars of rhythm and then finish with the ending. Just having some consistency here. Alright, here we go on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 4 and 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, done. Okay. The next one, number 3. I think I forgot to open one of your files. Did I not save it? Oh no. Oh crap. Oh, wait a minute. I know what I did. I did save it. Okay. I thought I opened up everything from today. Apparently I just didn't save last week's exercise number 2 with today's date as exercise number 6 as I was supposed to, so whoops. Anyway, so this guy is the introduction to the next one. So I talked about basically it's a polyrhythm. So you have basically there's beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. So you have 1, 2, 3 beats. And you're spacing 2 chords, an even spacing of 2 chords throughout that. And then it kind of starts, it would start over again here, but just for the sake of getting you used to the pattern, stopping on beat 4 there for just a quarter note and then doing the pattern again, starting the pattern over again on beat 1 in the next bar. So basically, it's a 3 again, or 3 across 2 or you can even say a 2 across 3 beats, because you're playing 2 chords evenly spaced across 3 beats. Typically, when you hear polyrhythm, they'll say 3 against 2, or 2 against 3. You'll say that. I don't like saying against, because I think it, in my mind, it's more appropriate to say 3 across 2 or 2 across 3, because you're spacing 3 or 2 beats evenly across 2 or 3 other beats. Anyway, so you're basically doing like a strum 2 3, strum 2 3 when you're doing this, like a strum 2 3, strum 2 3, strum. And let me see the next one. You're doing that a lot more. But here we go. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 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 4. Boom. On to the much harder one. So this is where you just continue the polyrhythm. So you're doing the strum 2 3, strum 2 3, strum 2 3, strum 2 3, all the way to the 4th bar, and then you just all upstrokes. So here's how it should sound: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and 4 and 3 and 2 and done. But yeah, definitely just have the metronome go and count before you strum like you were doing today. Very glad to see you doing that. So yeah, very helpful. I'm glad you see that. So let's go to the all downstroke new thing here. Let me change something real quick. How much I'm going to be able to get on here. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Back up a little bit. Well, I could do this, I suppose. Well, I guess that's something. Alright, my head's going to be chopped off. So I'm just going to go through all the new stuff. I'm not going to do everything. Definitely won't be able to get all that on screen. But like, as you were starting to do earlier this evening, yeah, get this new stuff at 140. Make sure you can do that first. And once you can, then start putting the whole thing together. And then same protocol as last week. Get 3 perfect takes of this each day, along with the rhythms and the all upstroke one. But here we go at 140. Let's see how well I can sight read this. I probably should have practiced it first, but hey, here we go. 1 2 1 2 3 4. choke there for a second. One thing I'm doing, hopefully this wouldn't irritate your index finger, but when I'm like strumming all this open A stuff, my thumb is muting the low E, my index finger is muting the D string and the other strings, the GB and high E. So I'm using my middle finger for fretting all this stuff. And then when I go to the D string for that last line, my thumb just wraps over further, so it's muting the E and the A, and then my index finger is muting the GB and high E. And you just barely any pressure with the index finger, so you're not fretting anything. So if it's not irritating your index, good idea to try that. If it is irritating it, definitely stop trying to mute with the index finger. But that's something to definitely get into eventually. I mean, I guess you could for right now just mute with your middle finger and fret with your ring finger, but yeah, just work with what you can. What the heck? Oh. Okay, the one that I did not save with the correct date and all. Oops. Change this. I got 4 lines to get in here without the repeat. Oh, that's not gonna work. Is it? That definitely didn't work. Well, here's something. Anyway, back over here, head chopped off. One thing to help memorize what's going on here, like these first, well, here to here, basically what I'm doing is I'm just descending in 1, 2, 3, 4 notes in key, and then I'm going back up to this note here. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I go to what was the second note here, and that starts here, and it goes down 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then same idea. I go back to this. Whoops, back to this note. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I go to this note and start the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then I go to the open A string and go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so let's demonstrate this at the 120. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I blew it. I blew it. Hang on, we go through that last line. I forgot to go out and drop D. Alright, anyway, just gotta go through that last line again. Okay, now let's see if I can play all 4 lines correctly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one thing I thought about while doing that, the end here, where you're transitioning from the A string to the E string. Zoom in again on that. It's a little tricky on the muting while you transition to that. So what I'm doing, so my index finger is coming from the D string over to the A string, and the thumb just gets out of the way because it's not muting any strings anymore. So when I hit that E string, my index finger jumps over to the A string to mute that. So, little muting tip there. Well, if any questions come up for next week, let me know. And I will see you next week.